Having missed his appearance at the Labour Party conference today, Jeremy Corbyn is now in significant trouble because he's prevaricating about whether or not he condemns Hamas and the Hamas attack. I think there can be no excuse for the Hamas attack. And of course, his point about wanting peace is entirely commendable. And of course, his support for the Palestinian people is entirely commendable. What I don't understand is why he is so reluctant to condemn an organization which is clearly a terrorist organization and is clearly involved in terrorism. In the same way as I think, quite frankly, we should always bear in mind the fact that one of the former prime ministers of Israel was himself a terrorist and involved in the Irgun and the attack on the King David Hotel. That must be condemned as well. You know, you can't have it both ways. And to condemn terrorism is not to condemn the Palestinians, and it's not to condemn the Israelis, but it is to make it very clear that Hamas is an illegal, prescribed organization that needs to be roundly condemned, and their activity, their raison d'etre is utterly wrong. There's no two ways about it. The same sort of thing should govern the condemnation of the Wagner Brigade. You can't. I think there's an issue where we're just looking at something which is black and white, and Jeremy Corbyn is crazy to be pussyfooting about this. Crazy. This is what he says anyway. Listen to what he says and then make up your own mind.
Wait a minute. Why you interrupt people when they're answering a question? Okay. Thank you. I'll go again then. Yesterday I sent out a statement calling for a ceasefire, calling for peace, and calling for an end to the occupation of Palestine, which of course is fundamentally the background to the whole issue. Obviously, all attacks are wrong.
But do you
Thank you. I think I've made my
Hamas?
point. I think I've made my point very clear.
You quite made the point.
No, wait a minute.
What the man is saying is exactly right.
I'm going to say it for the third
How
time.
many times do you
Yesterday, I sent out a
The man is right what he's
which
saying.
made it very clear.
Take notice.
I wanted peace, I wanted a ceasefire, and I wanted a process which ended the Israeli occupation of Palestine, which is fundamental to it. I don't support any attacks, therefore I criticise them all. And that, I think, is the end of the matter. Thank you.
I think this is completely crazy. Yesterday I sent out a message which made it very clear I wanted peace. I wanted a ceasefire. I wanted a process which ended the Israeli occupation of Palestine, which is fundamental to it. I agree. I don't support any attacks, therefore I criticize them all. And that, I think, is the end of the matter. It's not the end of the matter. I have criticized the attack by Netanyahu on the Gaza, on Gaza. I have also criticized the attack by Hamas. The difference between the two is that Hamas launched an unprovoked attack, invaded another country. This is exactly the same thing that I would criticize the Kremlin of doing. They invaded another country. Now, I also do not quite approve of Netanyahu's attack into Gaza, but Hamas has got Israeli citizens, women and children, that it's using as a human shield. That changes so much. It demonstrates absolutely that this is a foul and abusive terrorist organization. But at the same time, Palestine, and particularly the Gaza Strip, is densely populated with incredibly poor people who have been kept poor in this encampment. And simply because they've got a government that was voted into office that happens to be a terrorist organisation. They should not be punished for that. We should find a way out of this mess, and the issue of the settlers is just wrong. But I support the existence of the State of Israel, and I support the existence of the Palestinian state. Absolutely, without reservation, I utterly condemn Hamas. And I don't understand why it's so difficult for Mr. Corbyn to find a similar position. Does he not condemn Hamas? Or is it true that he's got friends in Hamas? How could this man... I don't understand how he plays such games. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. This is somebody with a brain, and he's playing games with words to get out of responsibility. That's not right.